Between April 18th and 19th, 2020, 51-year-old Gabriel Wortman committed multiple shootings and set multiple fires while impersonating a police officer, complete with his own replica police car, in Nova Scotia, Canada. Over a 13-hour period, the shooter killed 23 people and injured 3 others, while also setting fire to 16 buildings and vehicles, before he was shot and killed by police while refueling at a gas station. This would become Canada's deadliest shooting in modern history. Wortman owned several decommissioned police vehicles, but the one used on the day of the attack was as close to the real thing as possible. To the naked eye, most people wouldn't have known the difference between the replica and the real thing. Wortman had been working on this specific vehicle for about 9 months. He purchased the 2017 Ford Taurus in June of 2019 from a Canadian government auction website for just under $11,000. At the time of its purchase, the vehicle would have already been stripped of its law enforcement components and decals and repainted plain white. Wortman began working on it to make it look like the real thing by adding light bars and a push bar, which were purchased online, and authentic-looking decals, which did come from a printing supplier, but not with the business owner's permission. Owning a replica police vehicle in uniform is not a crime in Canada, but impersonating a police officer is. It was reported that at least one RCMP officer took note of Wortman's replica police car and advised him not to drive it on the road. It was also reported to RCMP by multiple concerned citizens. A tweet sent out by RCMP on the morning of April 19th, 2020, stated that there was one difference between their cars and Wortman's replica car, which was the car number on the side. Here's a better look at that photo. Side by side, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between the replica vehicle and an authentic Nova Scotia RCMP cruiser. So in this footage, we get a clear view of the vehicle's rear. The back of all emergency vehicles contain reflective hash marks, which are diagonal decals that reflect light as a safety feature for any emergency responders at night on the side of the road. This photo shows the rear of an authentic RCMP cruiser in Nova Scotia. Take a look at the hash marks on the vehicle. RCMP vehicles in Nova Scotia, and I assume all of Canada, only contain 8 hash marks, 4 on each side. Looking back at the footage of Wortman as he's driving away, we can see that there were 12 hash marks on his vehicle, 6 on each side. It's unknown if this was intentional by Wortman or just a mistake on his part. Another notable difference between an authentic RCMP cruiser and the replica cruiser was the addition of a front push bar. In Nova Scotia, RCMP cruisers are not equipped with push bars. I'm not sure if there's a reason in particular for this, or which provinces do use push bars at the front of their cruisers. Wortman was originally from New Brunswick, so it's possible that he'd seen RCMP vehicles there with push bars and assumed that they all contain push bars in every province. It's also possible that this was installed strategically if this attack was planned well in advance to include the use of a replica RCMP vehicle. Of course, this is all speculation on my part. The replica vehicle was used for almost the entire duration of the attack. Just over 12 hours in, Wortman collided head-on with Constable Heidi Stevenson of the RCMP. Constable Stevenson engaged Wortman, resulting in him returning fire and killing her. Immediately after, Wortman stole Constable Stevenson's sidearm and ammunition before setting both vehicles on fire. Wortman then shot and killed a nearby motorist who had stopped to assist after seeing the collision. Wortman drove off in this victim's SUV. About half an hour later, Wortman was shot and killed by RCMP at a nearby gas station, ending the 13-hour rampage. Thank you for watching, and if you're interested, come join the discussion at www.reddit.com/r/Nova Scotia shooting.